Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and as always, welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. It's so easy to say that. I get so hung up on the other sections and programs we do because I'm not as used to it as this one. So, that came out real nice. Let's go ahead and keep that going with some announcements. As far as attendees, it's just me, which is Adam L. Spain from the Inn of Planar Crossroads, Dan from Avenue Studios, and Levi, who is our
just here.
Who is our he's got a role. He's got a job. He's our in-house spotlighter. Is what he does. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'll start us off so other people can think about how they want to word their announcements. As far as announcements for the Inn of Planar Crossroads, we have so far gotten, I was telling everybody earlier, we've gotten all of our magical mishaps ready for the rest of the year. They just need uploaded and stuff, a little bit of editing and some uploading, so that'll be good. You guys can count on those. We had apologize for the art thing not working out last month. This is coming out in December, so not working out last month, but if everything goes according to plan, it's either this month or maybe next month, from when these are coming out, that the internet should be shifted over to a better quality down here, getting fiber optic.
Sweet.
So that would mean that those streams could shift back into it being something that's possible, which I think would be really fun. Being able to do something similar to how you watch Matt Crow draw while he's talking about things might work really well for these type of discussions, or, you know, we look at the paper and the note and stuff like that while we're taking it. That can be really fun. So we'll have to see how all that goes, but as far as announcements, that's what I've got. Expect art streams in the future soon, to help build out and to get some community interaction with you guys giving me feedback. So that'll be fun. Now we'll go to Dan, I think, and see what he's got going on over at Avenue Studios.
Thank you, sir. Hello. Yes, we are Avenue Studios. We have content on YouTube, Rumble, and anywhere you can find podcasts. Biggest things for us, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we live stream. Every other week is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game for as long as our characters survive. And on the off weeks, we do other type of content upcoming in the next year. We're going to be doing some Force Forge, where we build a one-shot, the mechanical side of it, and hopefully also in Foundry Virtual Tabletop, and then the next off week we'll play the game live with some awesome guests. And so yeah, that's our big thing. Great Moustache is coming to visit next week, so that'll have already happened by the time this comes out, but you should be able to see, I think we'll live stream some of the movie night there. And yeah, so we look forward to that, and I'm ready to talk holiday games. So that's it.
Yeah. All right. And that means we are to Levi, who is spotlighting for us today. What you got, Levi?
A channel called Frizz, which is ties in nicely to the 2E you all are playing. Frizz with nice little animation is not quite the right word. Fun visuals. Goes through and discusses different aspects of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Going through like a huge amount of concepts, like from general mechanical aspects of it to certain ways to like enjoy the system in the best way it can be, to just a different framework for how to think about aspects of the game. Because Pathfinder 2nd Edition is a relatively complicated game that takes more getting used to, so it is another source of information and perspective with, like I said, fun visuals. It's like,
If they're
nothing
adorable.
fancy. They are adorable. Adorable is a great word. I wasn't sure the adjective I wanted.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. That's great.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what it looks like, people, when you go looking for his thumbnails. I got it up for him.
Awesome.
It's cool beans.
Yeah.
And most of his videos are less than 10 minutes, which is nice and consumable for people when they're wanting to get tips and tricks on their stuff. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Good time.
All right. I got y'all back up. All right, so that's our shout out. And I think that's everything. So, come on in, travelers. Now you can truly sit down by the fire. Put your feet on the hearth, the warm stones. And grab your preferred beverage while we discuss holiday games. And Levi has volunteered to start us off, so take it away.
Okay, I actually had it would have lasted longer, but pandemic stuff and then group falling apart, but I had a good couple of sessions in this. And I was using Open Legend RPG at the time, because you can do whatever you want, however you want. We were Sentient Lawn Ornaments.
Oh, yes. That's nice. That's
with
nice
relevant types of magic. We had a porcelain fairy with nature magic. Very fragile and easy to break otherwise, but a lot of alteration on plants. So anyway, it initially was not intended as a mostly holiday game, but as other life things happened, most of them happened around holidays, so it was fun to theme those around it. I think... So for, Halloween, obviously, it's there's going to be something trick-or-treat related. In this case, I like to do direct parodies of things, so the trick was that the kids became treats.
Oh. That's
so there was
dangerous.
It was. There was a witch in a corn maze who was luring kids in, turning them into candy, and then our lawn ornaments fought the witch.
That's awesome.
So I think, for one, because it's a holiday game, you're almost always doing it as a one-shot. So you do not have to take yourself incredibly seriously. Just make sure you really get the important set dressing aspects. You can either do an existing real world, well, I guess modern day tradition. You can go into some older traditions. You can go into some folklore. You have a lot of access points to start going with it, but you're going to want to start with something recognizable to the holiday.
Right.
What exactly you do with it from there, I think for a lot of how we're often going to play, is you're going to want to, fantasy or sci-fi it up.
Okay.
Take some core aspect. Right, I really liked the idea of, okay, it's Halloween, kids get candy. Kids are candy. It was a nice, quick twist. It adds to a spooky game. Let's see. But, there's a lot of things. It was quick, easy to plan out, and it was a lot of fun to, fight a witch. Part of the irony was that because they weren't biological in this otherwise sense, they didn't count for getting turned into candy.
Oh, fair enough.
Right? One was made of porcelain, one was made of stone. I'm not sure what that one was made out of. Probably not porcelain's the wrong word, but also ceramic. And then,
well, you could also,
right, because we had the gargoyle, we had the statue of a cat, we had the lawn fairy, and there was those were at the core. And then eventually, those on the ground crocodile or hippos where it's just their eyes out of water?
Yeah.
Yes.
A hippo joined in towards the end. And was actually fully under the ground, but that was just the part that the people saw.
Oh. I wondered how that would work. Because usually those are just two different pieces of... Those two different items. So it was
Yeah. Let's see. I know for my Christmas session, Santa's son visited the area, and there was, as opposed to a more like combat, scary things are happening, it was like a family reconciliation story of like the party being an intermediary between the two of them, who both had their own suites of magical movement to make it harder to like track them down and get to talk to them. So it was a much more like social game of like helping a dad connect to his, because he's busy working all year.
Yeah.
He would be the workaholic father.
Yeah.
Right? And
Well,
it was just
That's great.
I don't know how he manages his marriage. I mean, they must be in it together type of thing, because
I think actually in my canon they were separated.
Man, yeah, I can believe it.
I mean, kids into treats, separated. Levi likes to keep things lighthearted, you know?
Yeah,
Hey,
turning sentient beings into cotton candy, like something like killer clowns from outer space. Definitely all right.
I love it. No, that's
Halloween-
great, dude.
the Halloween one was silly, but definitely not as lighthearted. In this case, it was more just like a casual background fact that they had like settled that issue a long time ago. But the relationship, because you can be amicably separated. Like it wasn't like they had like a war in the North Pole.
But oh, come on, no
What you
war in
do?
the North.
You could do that.
You could do it,
Right? But, there's.
When you
I think an important point is that you have like a lot of options.
Yes.
Well, when you were talking about lawn ornaments, I'm like, oh yeah, and then the lawn ornaments have to defend the house from getting TP and egged on Halloween.
Oh, that's funny.
So
And that would have been fun too.
Yeah,
They
you
were
could do,
magic lawn ornaments.
well, they have to do it without being seen. See, can't be undercover.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we had plans for an Easter session, but that did not work out.
No.
The Easter Bunny was definitely visiting.
yeah,
Because the Easter Bunny was canon.
there you go.
So there's just some things I did, some of the ways I was thinking about it as I went for it. Just so if someone else would like to continue on with their thoughts about...
Okie dokie. Well, Dan has actually ran a whole set from, it was Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then New Year's or something like that.
Yeah, that's what we did. One giant one shot, and then we broke it up for the episodes.
They switched out sweaters and everything.
Yes, we did. We changed clothes, changed props. It was a fun night. I think... I don't know. Well, check it out if check it out on YouTube, Rumble. But what I'm thinking about is also hearing Levi's thing is too. The beauty of the holiday games is it's really just set dressings, and then you can have whatever you want happen. For mine, the Halloween was traveling through a haunted forest. So it was mostly a maze, and if they failed on challenge events, they were attacked by giant pumpkins. And that was all I needed for the Halloween, it's Halloween, and that's what we're doing. And then Thanksgiving, they had to solve a puzzle and complete this a giant statue of a turkey with the cornucopia in front of it. So they had to fill the cornucopia with food, all the while being attacked. If they failed certain things, they'd be attacked by already cooked turkeys, gobblers.
Yeah, that was the good part. That was the best part.
Yeah, because they're like upside down. And I totally ripped that off. Somebody made that for 5e somewhere. I just saw like the image and I just went with it. I was like, this is genius, because now the butt is the mouth, right? Because it's cooked and it's got the little booties.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And again, it was just, that was it for Thanksgiving. It was like, that was it. I just the set dressings, but I actually, for that section, I reused a puzzle that I had used in a different game, much more serious. And I just switched out the dressings and made it, instead of this
He switched out the dressings on the...
All puns intended.
All puns intended. See, it's starting to spread. It's starting to spread.
And that, what was fun too was like, and I think Levi's hit on this with doing the like kids as treats, is that you have expectations. As soon as you say, hey, we're going to do a Halloween game, or we're going to do an Easter game. So having just the right amount of expectation and then throwing something crazy in there really makes it fun. The Christmas one was just a big snowball fight. Yeah, so they were trying to rescue Santa, you know, within the world. And I even had it quasi set in this world I made, so it's like I didn't say it was Santa, but it was a bovine humanoid with a big white beard and red, you know, stuff on it. And it ended up that it was kidnapped because, of course, this whole thing was done by some fairies that were having fun. So
yeah, having fun with their friends.
Yes.
For the last time? Question mark.
Right.
Ooh.
It's.
Oh,
I do have to highly recommend this session. I don't want to. New Year's was fun. New Year's actually was really hard for me. And it's the reason that the game took the turn that it did, that I didn't intend, because I was like, how do you capture New Year's in a game? And
little did you know, it was already captured by Cheeks the Boy.
It was. I highly recommend you check it out, because Cheeks the Boy is one of the greatest characters ever devised in RPG history.
It's pretty funny. Pretty good.
But, yeah, it was the life and death cycle was the theme I went with for that one, for New Year's. So that, but really the thing I'm thinking about is the set dressing. It's like you have, just like Levi was saying, you have all this to work with, and having just enough of the expectations, giving them enough that, okay, we're in this holiday, and then see how far you can twist it.
Yep.
And have fun with it. Because I think after every section, because we took breaks, this was like a 5 or 6 hour one shot, and we took breaks, and every time they're like, I was expecting this, but then it was this. So that was really fun, and all in a positive manner, because it's like, it's still totally a Christmas game, but I didn't expect to be doing a snowball fight with goblins to rescue Santa.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And spoilers too. It is not just Austin who rolls well on the dice.
yeah.
He's kind
thankfully,
of passed that around to his spouse.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my word. Thankfully, it's a D6 system, so it can't get too crazy.
He says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
oh man.
So yeah.
It was great.
I enjoyed those.
And the other thing too was those characters were random. They were thrust in. Now they were totally fantasy characters set in a fantasy world. And they're thrown into this very, like, Thanksgiving does not exist in my world. Christmas and Halloween doesn't exist in my world per se, at least as far as I've world built. But it was, my decision was to do the Fae. And having, Fae always can have these meta type abilities to create stuff from the real world. So it ended up all being kind of in a dreamscape.
Okay.
And that's where they experienced this, but it was the Fae. So that's the only other thing to think about too, is I think most people are pretty cool too, generally at the table. If you said ahead of time, hey, we're going to do this episode, we're going to do a Christmas episode, that it might be fan fiction, if you will, in your setting or something. Or you can do something like Fae are always good to use for that, right? Twisting reality. Or it's a fun way to world build too, though. Because then you could be, all right, I don't want to do that. So if you're working in a homebrew setting, how can I adapt this? And of course, there's, Levi was mentioning, I always think of, what is it? The German evil Santa, is it?
Krampus.
Krampus. Always good.
Not exclusively German, but yes.
Right. I always think of The Office and Dwight with, but like Krampus is always good to pull on too, especially for a holiday episode when you want to twist it a little bit. There's so many different versions on the holidays that you can draw inspiration from, where it still has enough of that feel, but it's something different and can be adapted to a more fantastical world. You know, the one thing I'm realizing, not to change it too much though, is I've never done something sci-fi genre with holidays. I don't know if you guys have. That might be on my bucket list of games to play then, is try to do sci-fi holiday.
Well, it would probably depend on how sci-fi you went. Like, are you going like full
fair.
Star Trek, full starship type of thing? I mean, with the way technology would be,
Shadowrun?
That is true. Ooh, a Shadowrun style, that could get creepy.
Yeah.
Shadowrun style Halloween.
New Year's.
Shadowrun New Year's.
I mean, easy
Maybe.
one. Cthulhu for Halloween, or
True.
New Year's.
New Year's
Cthulhu New Year's time loop of stopping the end.
Yes. Yes, there we go.
We're all in the zeitgeist right now. We're vibing.
That's because one of the things that
That would
I
be
always
interesting.
imagine for like a New Year's game as a one shot is like a very time loopy Groundhog's Day y game,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
right? So
Ooh,
like
you-
tying that in with like the horror of Cthulhu of like you've got to over time try and try again to like not have the end of existence as you understand it.
Yep.
Yeah. That
And
does
every
tie back a little bit to what we were talking about with the Haster's wine too.
it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so take a lot of what we said about that
Mhm. That
and
could
run
be
it on New
fun.
Year's.
Oh, it's a New Year's masquerade party.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. I was
Boom.
going to say in that setting, New Year's. Oh, that would
'Cause-
be great.
Because every civilization has a New Year's. That's
Right.
That's like system. That's like culture agnostic. Everybody
Nice.
celebrates New Year's in some way, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
wherever they celebrate it and whatnot is different, but like, oh, it's been a year. Good excuse for a party.
Right. Oh,
Party, party. So yeah.
that's genius, though. That's a good mixing with the house. Wow. That's
So,
awesome.
if you want to know how to run Haster's wine, go check out that last one from November. I believe it was October. October. There you go. So I'll interject a few things here. I like where everybody's going with it, and and mixing all those things together. I want to tie in on a couple things y'all mentioned. There's the obvious thing of the way you run the game is going to be different. Like if you're going with a modern setting but still fantastical, that whole thing with the garden gnomes and other lawn ornaments, that's really fun. Especially if you give an idea that perhaps all things have some kind of sentience or spirit animating them
Very
type of thing.
animistic.
Yeah, very like Shinto type of thing. You could even theme it all the way in Japan if you want to, because it's interesting to take a Western holiday in America or in the Western sphere of influence and then take it to the East, and now you're having Halloween in Japan and all the yokai come out or something like that. Or you take maybe like a South American Day of the Dead and you play into a game like that, like a Coco style game or something along that line. The movie Coco, not if there's a system of Coco. But those or chocolate.
Chocolate's always good.
But there actually is the Day of the Dead movie or something like that where I forget what it's called.
Yeah, there's Coco there's more than one actually.
Right.
There's Book of Life and Coco
Book
are
of Life.
semi-recent.
Yeah. If you do not want to make Dan cry, then you play Book of Life. If you want to make Dan cry, you play Coco.
It was
Probably
good.
true. Yeah.
There you go.
Spoilers, I cried in our holiday one shot, and it was beautiful.
It's so beautiful, man. Shit. All right.
I love it.
So there's that one. Taking especially holidays for a Western audience that they're not familiar with can be very interesting, because you can almost take those, the older back you get, the further back you get, the holidays get more and more eccentric from what we do today, because practically every holiday is commercialized today. They didn't used to do holidays because they were commercialized. They used to do holidays because they can call them holy days. So there was some kind of spiritual tie to it. So there's this maybe an equinox type of thing or something along those thought patterns where you can work with that. And you can tie in, well, what if some of these things are real that are talked about, like not just Santa Claus being real or the Tooth Fairy, but the smaller, less known things about this particular holiday. Do you have your jack-o'-lantern with you? Your jack-o'-lantern, the lantern you made. Do you have it with you? If you do not, then the spirits can come. The spirits with bad intent can come towards you, because that's, if I remember right, what it was intended for. That's why you made the jack-o'-lantern, and it had a light in it.
Yeah.
So,
and it was made out of turnips originally.
So you can have, you could have like a turnip head. You could have one of the characters playing a turnip head lantern from like Howl's Moving Castle, but it's got a light in it. There you go.
That's fun.
That's fun. And it's also a good way to take and mix different things from different cultures that happen on the same day, like a couple different New Year's customs, and mix those together for your homebrew setting. Because then you're not taking one thing, you're taking several things that work well together for what you're doing with the culture of your setting. And building up a culture within your setting is a great way to immerse your players. This is something that I want to talk about at some point, and maybe if I can convince Chi to come on sometime and talk about journaling and timekeeping, mainly journaling, in a TTRPG setting, and how helpful that is for working around your characters, because those characters can have a, like, this day of this calendar month of this day within this setting, this happens. Well, that may be their birthday, or that may be something else along that line, because that's something I do with when I play with characters and when I have players. I will have an old calendar, and it has regular holidays on it. So I just look, okay, where's the equinoxes? There's going to be holidays these days. And when is the player's birthday? Not the player's birthday. When is the character's birthday? I'll ask the players that. And if they want if they have that built out, I'll put that on there, and I'll say, okay, now it's come to your birthday, because birthdays can be very much that way too. Or you can do something like a communal, like the community comes together for everybody that was born in the spring. And the community comes together, like especially small communities would do that. A festival of spring would be a celebration of not just birth of the earth, but perhaps everybody celebrates that as a communal birthday. No one in this town, will say, has their own birthday. They all share that birthday.
Yeah.
Because
cool.
it's easier for the town.
Actually, I think South Korea has it that there is one day of a year that counts as the birthday day.
Oh.
You count as one when you're born. And then on that day you go up a year.
Interesting.
So it's hypothetically possible to be 2 days old and 2 years old.
Yeah, that would get tricky for record keeping, but yes.
It's actually only really tricky for record keeping when interacting with other cultures.
Well, yeah.
They seem to have found it to be fine enough for themselves.
Well, if everybody's working within the same time scale, saying you have a 2-year-old and saying you have a 2-year-old that's 2 days old, I don't know.
Well, you would probably say, I have a 2-day-old who is 2.
Yeah, I could see
you
that.
You probably split those two terms.
Yeah. That's probably the way you do it. But see what happens when you do that? You get a homebrew setting now. In your homebrew setting now, you have things where this culture celebrates it on the same day, and then because of that, you have a change in vernacular. when they say 2 years old, they mean that
Mm-hmm.
the year has shifted over. It's almost like a second New Year. The year shifts over for everyone. So that's
Well, they actually
interesting.
coincide it with their new year.
Well, see there, it's so efficient.
It is. It's hard for everybody else, but they're like, no, we made it work.
Yeah. I think that's a fun way to build out a homebrew setting. So playing your holidays, taking holiday games and then making them into not just games that mimic holiday things here, but also can build out your setting. So that's what I like to do, is build out a setting with that as a baseline. Trying to steer back to what people will most likely use from the video, though, theming off of current holidays, I do think that there's a lot of inspiration you can take from even popular media on this. There's the obvious Nightmare Before Christmas. It literally mixes the two biggest holidays in the United States. And then there was that one Guardians movie
Yep.
where it had the Easter Bunny and Jack Frost, and like you can even take those smaller characters, Santa Claus, naughty and nice list tattooed on Santa Claus's forearm. That's pretty metal. That's a metal Santa. So I'm okay with that. You could do that type of thing. And you can go as tough or as soft as you want to with these games because of how open it is to interpretation. So I think that you can take that popular media type of shift and play with it too. So
Yeah.
Whoville could be a great setting.
Whoville,
Just saying.
the Grinch.
Sure.
Well, what if I guess you could play on Whoville and say you either have to stop the Grinch or the players play the Grinches.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way works.
I mean,
Quite well.
technically, the Who's are everywhere, so. Because Horton hears a Who, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, that would be interesting. It could even be post. Could it be post Grinch? What would that look like?
Oh, you've got to fight the Grinch to steal Christmas again? He's in there protecting it now.
Right. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
So other
I think
Grinches come in
one thing-
like, you betrayed us.
I love that.
Yeah. Something that's like a quick, easy for just about any holiday. If there is like a character who is supposed to do something for it, them being out of commission has been the basis for so many movies because it is a quick way to get people into hijinks.
Yeah.
And I think hijinks, quick and easy, is what you want for a one-shot, which is what a lot of holiday games are. I think if you have an existing game and you're having a holiday session, I agree that you're either going to want some format of, hey, I don't know how canon this is, or closer to just like, oh, hey, this festival is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it to be more tied.
Right. I'll throw out in regards to that. I played a 5e game with Jacob from our channel and his wife. So my wife and I and his wife were the players. Jacob ran it, and he just did we were in the middle of oh my gosh, what's the classic 5e?
Curse of Straw?
No, not Curse of Straw. Phandelver, like the starter.
Oh, Mines
adventure.
of Phandelver.
Mines of Phandelver. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I totally blanked. So we're in the middle of that, and it just happened to fall on Christmas. So we're still going through it, and he just had all of a sudden stockings and candy canes were appearing, and we had to figure out the trick of it. So Santa was appearing in random places in the middle of the game, and all it was a way for him to give us a fun Christmas-y adventure, still within the Mines of Phandelver, that really didn't affect too much other than we got cool fun items out of it.
What?
And I loved it because afterwards I had a stocking that was a bag of holding that just had an infinite supply of candy canes.
Nice.
Yeah, and I
You can
used
get
it for
some weird stuff.
persuasion. Yeah, I would just I want to make someone happy, and my character was very charismatic base, so he would just sprinkle candy canes everywhere.
Wait.
as you do.
Does that mean that your character used candy camouflage?
Not candy camouflage though, but I love that. I still want to do that because you didn't hide it. It was more like candy charisma or candy persuasion. It's not as good.
It was sweet talking everyone.
Even there it is.
Yes.
You got it.
Sweet
Well
talk.
done.
That's
But
what
that's
he calls it
something-
now. That's the ability, sweet talk.
Sweet talk. +2 to your charisma roll, your persuasion check. That's a way to do it too, where you don't disrupt the campaign and you just kind of. Jake was really great about sprinkling it in, and it wasn't really a Christmas episode, but it was right before Christmas and we were playing, and so he just sprinkled in, their
It was a normal
stocking.
episode, but someone had like a Christmas sweater on.
Yeah, and it didn't. I don't know how canon it was within, Eberron.
Not Eberron.
Favorite.
Forgotten Realms, maybe?
Forgotten Realms, thank you. My goodness, I'm mixing them all up. Too many
Eberron was
systems.
super high-tech magic tech.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh my
Steam
gosh.
magic punk tech thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Forgotten Realms, it was totally like commercial Santa flying around.
Yeah, as it goes.
Ooh,
You have any Coca-Cola?
Yeah,
It's classic.
Oh my gosh, classic. Wow. Good flashback.
An interesting way to play on that too. Oh, I think I may have figured out a way you could do a sci-fi one, Dan. Or at least a high-tech one. So most people in the future start meeting with their families virtually because they live on different planets. So there's this weird thing going on where you can theme it around one holiday specifically, or multiple holidays. But entire families are going comatose when they go into their VR meetings.
Classic.
For their
yes.
holiday meetings, and it's constant. You as the team have to either investigate, or maybe your cyber hackers that's trying to get your families back out because you were late to the meeting and everybody else was comatose before you got there. Like, it wouldn't let you in. And so that might be a way to do that, and you can play off of that cyber type of threat inside of this high-tech thing. But everything looks very traditional until you see the virtual reality actually glitching out for the net runners and the net cowboys that dive in, and they can see that glitchiness there being you get to describe that as the GM, but you can see that glitchiness there, and that's what they've got to look for in these rooms and these chat rooms to be able to go and take care of that. So that might be a way to do that.
You
That's
could even
cool.
do something like Missing No.
Yeah, like it's
Like Missing No from Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes!
like prowling around, and like the trail is like, you see like a wall that like part of its texture is like paper towels, and that's part of. Well, because the texture pack got glitched out,
right.
and then there's like
Right.
another thing, and it's like, oh, that shadow was actually a hole in the floor. Be careful.
And you can get really weird with it, because as the data gets more and more corrupted closer to this Missing No style glitched out AI of some kind, you can then say, okay, you're getting there. The stairwell is going at an 80-degree angle up towards the ceiling, but you can walk on it to get up to the next platform. Like, you can go all MC Escher with it and all that type of stuff. And if you do multiple holidays, perhaps this AI that was supposed to manage all of these all of this stuff that was being newly implemented wasn't properly troubleshot, and so they missed this
Right.
part of the code.
USB stick at the wrong point and it glitched.
So you use that. You just build on it.
Yeah. Well, and two thoughts I had. I love this idea too. Two thoughts. One is also Missingo too. Wasn't it like Left Behind from like beta testing or something sort of idea?
It's
Like
just
I really don't remember.
it's just junk data. It's really just junk data, because all of the programming in red, blue, and yellow, red and blue, green by extension, was all strung together with duct tape and all that. It was not super awesomely programmed, but it was fun and it caught on. So that's what the problem is.
But I like that idea too, that it could create a puzzle sort of thing that you're having to solve, because to find Masingo, you had to do the, talk to the certain person, fly over here. So you had to avoid that person initially. And then, right. So that could be really cool in the game.
And you can play with that. You can actually play with that and be like, okay, you entered the chat room here, but you need to actually not enter here. You have to go around the back door of the house, this virtual house, and enter the back door, which you're supposed to exit out of. That's supposed to be the exit, or however you want to play it. Or you enter through this window, and you can find glitches and stuff like that, and you can have it
like moonwalk through the.
Yeah, you have to do.
You moonwalk through the exit, because you're not allowed to be like facing backwards towards that door the other way.
That's funny.
So you have to moonwalk to get through it.
Yeah, or you have to what is it? Put on a specific song on the radio inside this house to queue up the next thing within the code that's supposed to be there when it's not there now. Right. All those different little cues like that.
And then the other thought I had with, I love doing this with you guys. The other thought I had with it too, that either could be that or something different, is that it's a rogue AI that thinks it's Santa Claus. Oh. And it's the naughty nice list, and those on the nice list, it keeps in the simulation because they are nice and deserve this perfect simulation of eternal Christmas. And then you're playing the characters in the family that are the black sheep and have to figure out how to get along and save the rest of the family because you were put on the naughty list. So clearly you're late, right? Like we were saying, it's like the cousins or the brothers. That could be a great character build, because now all the characters coming in, everybody knows each other. The players can develop, say, like, this is why we have been fighting or something. So it gives you a nice emotional in. You don't have to do the whole one-shot thing where it's like, well, how do I know you? Who are you? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You've got some preset emotional tension right there in, and it's like, okay, black sheep, go save your family from rogue Santa AI.
Yeah.
You're black sheep, not wolves.
Yes.
Yep. And that could be fun for those low-level games that we talked about last time.
Mm-hmm.
You could, because you don't have to be a high-tech hacker to get on the naughty list.
Right.
Right.
So.
Oh, man. That's really fun.
You could also play with it, with that naughty nice list thing, of maybe one of the programmers at the tech company had a naughty nice list, and it got, like, I hate these people or I like these people type of thing.
Yes.
And he got fired. So he just put this he put this AI in there to manage the Santa just as a jab, at the company before he got fired. And he's a lead that they follow in the real world to find out how they can start working to fix it in the virtual world.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's cool.
And obviously the naughty and nice list started to get corrupted by people's guests lists on their inside of their, hey, this is my family guest list for this function, this virtual function.
Right.
So nice. I think that will work. And you got now you guys just got to play.
I think it would.
I know you guys added to my list of games I would like to run.
Yeah. Well, you got at least a Christmas and New Year's game now.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're getting pretty close to the hour mark on my recording, not us talking, but on my recording. So, any final thoughts from you guys for holiday games?
Keep it lighthearted, have fun, have snacks.
Snacks is oh man,
yes.
themed snacks
Yes.
makes the game absolutely.
It's a holiday game. It's hard. It's you kind of gotta.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Eggnog for Christmas. Now, my
Yes.
Imperial apple cider goes all through fall and winter. So, I'm just throwing
Fair
that
enough.
out there.
Sure. Cookies, maybe some
Yes.
pie, depending.
Yep.
Maybe
Sweaters.
Halloween candy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Levi makes a pumpkin pie for one of them.
Yes.
Then he makes
Sure.
I don't know, another pie for another one and stuff like that.
I mean, I can also bake cakes. Make chili. Chili for like deep like New Year's. I know it's not anything specific to it, but just it's cold. Chili sounds good.
Yep.
Man, I'm hungry right now. Chili sounds good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I think it's have fun with it. I mean, everyone can see, but we're just riffing off of these general concepts, and it's just endless inspiration. Just have fun with it and have enough in there that the players get Christmas or Easter or Halloween, and everything else is just fun. Once they're in, it's just go for it. And I really like what everyone suggested of checking out the more ancient roots of it too, and there's so much inspiration there, which you could use even outside of holiday games too, obviously, but it's just a great source of inspiration.
Yeah. All right. Guess that leads me to my final thoughts. My final thought and tip is don't be afraid. In fact, I encourage you to, if you run in ancient times in the real world setting, take those old holidays and run those instead of modern ones. So that's what I've got. And since everybody else has given their final thoughts,
I have one last thing to say.
Uh-oh. Okay.
If you've run a holiday game before, comment below and tell us what you did, because I love hearing stories.
There we go.
Yep,
That's his trademark.
Yep.
Try it out and tell us.
Try it out and tell us.
All right. Before we sign off.
And other people steal from that in the comments.
Yeah. In fact, in the comments, if you actually made it this far in the video, which most do not, you can comment down below, missing no Santa. And we'll know.
Yes.
Because those two words probably won't go together unless someone watched the video.
Yep.
So, all right. Now, wait a minute, Dan. Didn't Jacob have something for announcing today?
Oh, did he? That is an excellent question. I don't think he sent me info, so it may have not been confirmed. Let me just quick check.
While he is checking that, steal from at least 3 sources so it feels original.
Nice.
3 sources. Nice little spot to go for. Because it's funny, what happens if you start to steal from more than 3 distinct sources, it can start to feel like a modern holiday again that is already existent. Because modern, like, as we go through time, we pick up things through our different experiences as cultures, and then those cultures mix together, and then they start to mix together. So you could start out with something that was supposed to be Christmas themed, and then you take a bunch of stuff from other cultures, and then it just ends up being modern Christmas themed again because of how it might progress. So watch that one.
Right. But if you only steal from 2 things, people will be able to feel the 2 things you stole from if they're familiar.
All right, so Jacob hasn't sent me any specific information, but what I will say for a shout out is a shout out for a future shout out.
Shout out for
Jacob
future shout out.
He's made his first what's the specific? He's made his first
Adventure for Foundry or something like that.
Yeah, it's a full adventure.
Ooh.
Already built in Foundry that you can use. I think he's still waiting on approval from Foundry to release it officially. And as soon as he does, Adam and I will be there to share this game. Was it? I'm sorry, Adam. I don't see it here. Was it Pathfinder 2nd Edition?
Yes, I think it's for
Yes.
5e or 2e or both.
It may be for both. But
Yeah.
as soon as he gets full approval on that, he's going to send us the info. But stay tuned for that. Jacob, he runs our Pathfinder 2nd Edition live stream games. Awesome GM. He does it. Paid GM thing. He's awesome at it. And I'm very excited to see this. So it'll be a pre-built adventure in Foundry Virtual Tabletop.
And this comes out in December, so y'all will probably be announcing it by this time when this comes out. So
that's true. Yes, he should have it by then. So links.
And if it is out, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's your channel and your stuff that you're connected to. More important for you to say it.
Adam's the boss, right? Look at him.
Oh,
there he is.
What? All right.
Here.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, and we'll keep you posted. We'll keep everyone posted on that.
Okie dokie.
He's hoping to do many more if it goes well.
Well, Lord willing, you may be able to see that. But for right now, travelers, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
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 This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.
Okay, Dan. I was looking back on this, and I'm like, I actually have planned out all of my magical mishaps for the rest of the year.
Woo.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I haven't even gone over this year's majority of stuff to get bloopers from. There may come a point where the Interplanar Crossroads could literally be releasing an entire year's worth of, like, 365 days of magical mishaps and not get behind. So
that's amazing.
So
I think you need to land blooper-sode.
Yes.
Yeah. That's probably what, like, April will be like. We'll throw together. That's what I did. So spoilers. I'm going to do a blooper-sode week for the last week of the year that leads up into New Year's, because I always do the New Year's announcements and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing that. And when I do, that should be able to catch up a little bit. And I'll probably do the same thing April, like leading into the 1st of April or the first week of April or however where that falls. So
nice.
That'll work out.
That's awesome, though.
What makes it nice is that that particular type of content is not that hard or intense to edit. You just like kind of stick some things together and you're good.
Right.
Go.
Yes.
All right.
Just sprinkle in a little nonsense.
Yeah. People seem to really like the Kristen's pork butt dilemma. It got like 90-something views. I'm thinking because it had a woman's name in the title and butt.
And butt, yeah. Well, we'll take it.
I bet you that went in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? Well, I don't know if we should save it for recording or not. About our one video that I realized was being recommended by not so top quality content elsewhere in the depths of YouTube.
No.
I figured out why.
This is one of the tags you had in it or something?
The title, David, because it was David, of course, in the episode says, just spank it with a potion. And we all thought that was hilarious. So that was the title of the episode. And then on top of that, I didn't even think about it. Kristen posing and like doing the leg lift in her World War II outfit is the thumbnail. And so it was like, spank your boss was like recommending our video. So like, these low class, like, first of all, why are you going to YouTube for porn? Really? Like, come on.
Yeah, there are literal sites for that. People that want that.
Most of the time, if it comes to YouTube for that, it's a younger crowd who hasn't found their way to the other thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's parental guidelines on or
it.
something.
Hey, I have to say, like 60, 55% were staying for a solid 30 seconds. So I was like, all right.
30 seconds, okay.
Build up like.
That's pretty, I mean, for what, like, as soon as the episode starts, you gotta know. And they were holding on, like, something's gonna happen, right? No.
Okay, all of those things you're saying do not belong in this conversation, Dan. They're holding on for something. They're lasting like 30 seconds. Dan,
Yeah.
Dan, phrasing.
I'm sorry. I appreciated the analytics.
Indeed.
Yeah, hey.
I did change it, though. I was like, I can't have
Yeah.
Well, no one
Spank
was
Your
saying
Boss
anything.
and P ****Y be the videos that are sending people to our channel.
Yeah, a pretty different vibe.
Well,
A little bit.
I mean, you got views.
Yeah.
That's where all the subscribers came from.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
Oh, man.
Oh no, this blooper's going to be titled "Where Dan Really Got His Subscribers."
Yeah.
Oh.
My audience retention rate is terrible, but I got the views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. I was like, the first time I saw it, I just was peeking through. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh well, figured it out. It's dropped to like 1% now, so I feel better. It's still doing it, but it's fine. Maybe we can change some lives. If I could change one young person's life by that, I'd rather.
There's no buts.
Yeah. But young person, let me introduce you to a different addiction: buying dice sets.
Oh yes, young people, introducing them to dice, magic little math rocks.
Beautiful.
That's the true addiction.
And there is the side point that if you, in a very, like, if you learn the social rules to, like, not weird people out with it, getting into the hobby can give you a good way to meet people,
That's
as opposed
true.
to just, and then you can have a much more satisfying.
Absolutely.
Like, so that's not just the
100%.
dice hobby, but like also meet people. It'll generally be better for you.
Generally, yes.
Oh, you can meet some pretty bad people.
Absolutely. No, but peer groups, yep, no, that's good.
Yeah. So, you know.
That would be awesome. That honestly would be amazing if that happened. I'll just always imagine there's one person, one young kid out there.
Well, at least over the course of your career, you know?
Right, yeah. I love it. Anyways.
All
Rant
right.
over.
Fair enough. So we were thinking first session talk about holiday games, and then second session talk about the Last Christmas conversion from Wham and stuff.
Yes. I listened to 2 lines and I already had my thing. Hopefully we're not all
Okay.
in the same zeitgeist, but we'll see.
Well, I'll have the lyrics. I'll have the lyrics up for us, so we'll be able to look them over
Beautiful.
too together.
Yeah, okay.
But I think there was some interesting phrasing in there that could be used and twisted to make something cool to discuss.
Yeah.
So.
Though I was thinking about making something cool. But
all the puns are intended. All right. I think that's a good
okay.
way.
Yeah. There was a joke I saw semi-recently. A man named Pun walked into a room. 10 people died. Pun in, 10 dead.
Yes. Yes.
It looked better over text, but it was pretty good.
No,
Yeah.
it's great. I love them. Because either I don't get them, or they're just so corny. I'm like, ugh, all right, you said it out loud. Well done.
Yeah. If it hurts, if a pun hurts your soul in just the right way, it's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have a
massage.
Yes. I also have a dear friend who hates them, so I always think that somewhere someone says a pun, somewhere he like feels a prick in his back, like he knows it happened.
My pun senses are tingling.
Yes.
All right.
Anyways.
Okay, I think puns are a good way for us to get started, so...
Segue.
Because you don't have enough magical mishaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're
so
just
much.
looking out for you, Adam.
Like having almost a year's worth of magical mishaps in the back pocket. Not the worst thing.
Two.
Yeah. Ding ding.
All right. So let's get a room tone. All right. I guess it's good I didn't make y'all wait as long as Dan makes David wait.
I know.
So.
I usually have it, but then he's being so grumpy about it. I just keep waiting.
Like brothers do.
Yeah. Also, I have 3 children, 5 and under. I can wait a long time. They've taught me patience.
Yeah, not only wait, but wait in the quiet.
Yes. A sensory deprivation tank sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that some people, when they get in the tank, and because it's for sleeping, they actually go to sleep, and they have weird dreams because your brain's all used to hearing things all the time.
Right.
So
fascinating. I would legit love to try it sometime. Just see what happens.
I don't think I'd like sleeping in water.
Yeah. I fall asleep standing up or anywhere, so I'd probably make it work.
I'm not that bad, Dan. I thought it would be pretty funny if we were both like sitting on your couch in your studio, and we were discussing something, and we both started to drift off, and they just find us in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys keep me up until 2:00 in the morning, and I'm sitting still, it can be rough.
Someday we'll sleep.
Hey, I've heard we sleep when we're dead.
Yeah. I got lots of plans for after that.
Yeah. Well, the Bible calls it entering the rest. All right, so I'm banking on that. I'm banking on that. All right. Okay, so everybody ready to start?